I don't know. There's something about this thing that bothers me. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Ironic that we live in a culture that seems to marginalize and criticize and demean people of morals and people of character and conviction, and at the same time they elevate and seem to glamorize aberrant behavior, deviant behaviors, deviant
Christianity
beliefs.
is under attack. We're under attack from the outside and from the inside. From the outside we've got cults and false religions and secularistic culture and evolutionism and naturalism, pluralism in our society. From the inside we have heresies and false doctrines and prosperity gospel and all sorts of things that are disrupting the Christian church. We're in a serious state today.
So what we need to do is argue from good reason. We got to argue from the moral law. What Thomas Jefferson said was self-evident. We need to change the culture and meet people where they are. You know, Paul did that. There's even biblical reference for that, or a biblical example of that. When he went to the synagogues, he would use the scriptures. But when he went to, say, Mars Hill, he would use natural reason, and he would even quote the poets of the people that he was trying to address.
It's not enough to know the Word. We have to understand the world. It's not sufficient to know the content of the Bible. We have to know the context into which that's preached.
Stand for Truth Ministries is a ministry that's equipping believers to defend the historic Christian faith. Today, more than ever, truth is considered relative, God irrational, and the Bible irrelevant. More than ever, Christians today need to become aware, prepared, and equipped to defend the historic Christian faith.
When Jesus is talking to Nicodemus, Jesus said to Nicodemus, "If you do not believe me when I tell you about earthly things, how can you believe me when I tell you about heavenly things?" In other words, if Nicodemus was not going to believe or trust Jesus' word when Jesus told him about things that he had the capacity, the capability of actually investigating, if Jesus couldn't be trusted when talking about things that we can investigate, we can validate, then how can he be trusted when he talks about things that we do not have the capacity to investigate?
Knowing the message of the Bible won't do it today. We have to know the milieu into which we proclaim that message. I worked for an organization years ago that had a wonderful motto: anchored to the rock and geared to the times. And that's what we are. These are relative times, but we have an absolute message that we're proclaiming to these relative times.
As a Christian growing up, I had no idea about Christian apologetics, and it was exciting for me to understand what it is that I believe, and not only that, but why I believed it. And as a result, I became more passionate in my faith, more bold in my witness, and more intimate in my relationship with God.
We're presently in a culture of emotion, pendulum swing that either goes in between dry scholasticism or emotional passion. And unfortunately, we are in a period right now where everything is about emotion and feeling. Everything's about praise. I constantly hear don't tell me about Jesus, let's just sing about him. Well, don't tell me about doctrine, let's just worship him. But the problem that they see is doxology will always and forever be tied to theology. The more you know him, the more deeply you understand him, the louder you can sing.